What up, fam? This Swagu, a.k.a. Marcus Spears, for people that don't know me as Swagu. I just chopped it up with Rome and Peanut Tillman on the NFL Players Second Acts podcast. Y'all chop in. It's pretty good stuff, man. I almost got emotional. Peace.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the NFL Players Second Acts podcast. I'm Peanut Tillman, and this is my guy, Roman, Mr. Rogers, vest, sweater, Harper. What's up?
Hey, man. Haters gonna hate, dog.
We are gonna hate. You know what I'm like saying? Your little Mr. Rogers sweater.
It's all right, though. Our guest already knew I was probably getting my fit right. Yeah, he already know. He already knew what the deal was. All right. But before we get started, man, let's thank all of our listeners and viewers out there. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating wherever you pick up your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio app. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a couple comments.
Follow.
Make sure you hit that follow button, man. Let's get right to it, man. I really, really am a big fan of this guy. I've known him for a while now.
I am too. His resume is real impressive. He's a first-round pick.
20th overall.
20th overall, 2005 draft. He went to Dallas. Played 9 seasons in the NFL. Was a DN. We'll get more into his position. One of the best two-sport athletes to come out of the state of Louisiana. Not Louisiana, but Louisiana.
The boot.
And now he's one of the brightest stars at ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marcus Spears to the show.
My brothers, it's always weird when you with your peers and they reading off your stuff. Man. It's different with somebody you've known in the media reading it off. When Pino was reading it, I was like, man, hurry up and get the hell get that over with.
I normally read it too fast, and then my producer over there would be like, hey, man, slow that down, okay? You're talking too fast. So now that I slow it down, it's like, man, hurry up and read it. So I don't know who to listen to, Thomas or you. I don't know.
Y'all laundry list of accomplishments, man. Put that up.
All right, well, here, let's jump to another accomplishment then. So what made you choose football over basketball? Because you went to lab. You went. I forgot you went to lab school. You averaged. Hold on, let me tell him.
Okay.
My man averaged 23.7, 15 boards. Big boy swag.
God.
Big boy swag. Won 2 state championships, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
I was a hooper, man. Listen, and it wasn't my back to the basket. Listen, I always want to clarify. I always want to clarify. I was shorter than most post guys. That was when centers was for real still.
Yes.
So I played on the perimeter. Nah, man. Football was gonna be the way to pay the bills.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
And you always think about, like, I played basketball now at a very high level. Got recruited to all of the top schools and all of that. So it was a possibility of having a career in basketball if I would have just let football go and focus solely on it. But, man, y'all know how it is when you're big and fast. They'll find somewhere for you on the roster.
No doubt. No doubt.
I had played it all my life. I love football. I loved the physical part of it until I started getting hurt. Y'all know how they go.
I do.
Everybody know how that goes.
Now, I saw you had a couple things from, like, Duke.
Yeah. Georgetown.
What other schools? Like, give me like 2 other big schools that recruited you.
Syracuse.
You actually like Syracuse. That was huge back then.
Y'all remember back at the time, St. John's was a big deal.
St. John's,
I mean, man, I got recruited by every school in the SEC, every school in the Big East.
Yeah. Big East at the time.
Did they spell your name right? Because I know I wanted to go to UT, and they called me Charles Tilley.
Oh,
that's how I knew I wasn't going to UT. I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. I don't think I'll be going.
No, I don't think
I'll be a Longhorn.
Yeah. Marcus was an easy one. But nah, man, I actually, and Rome, you may know this. I don't know if you know. I love basketball way more than football.
Yeah.
Like, I love.
First love.
Bro, it is. Because I had to work at it.
Yeah.
You know how it is in football, man.
You show up, you big.
You big. You can run. Like, they like, all right, we're going to do this with you, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Basketball, I really had to grind to get good. And my sister, who is my hero, my idol, she was a hooper. Got a scholarship to LSU. Blew her knees out playing basketball. But she was my first example of what I thought, like, real hoopers were. I grew up in the women's basketball era.
Yeah.
Like, I watched all the dudes hoop in the NBA, but women's basketball was prominent in my household.
Is that because of your sister?
Because of my sister.
Okay.
And then I married a hooper.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got big kids too.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, volleyball players. Your girls are volleyball.
Yeah, the oldest is going to Texas.
Yep.
Okay.
Which they just won that championship.
Shout
Yep,
out.
6'3", Kari. They playing nationals right now in her last 18 nationals right now in Baltimore. And then my son is a 6'8" freshman. basketball player.
Yeah, he went up. He's like, bro, we only going up from here, dog.
Yeah. I'm gonna live through him. I'm gonna live my NBA dream.
Now, how tall is your wife?
6'2".
6'2"?
Yeah, she was. She got drafted by the Washington Mystics.
Yeah.
7th overall, and hooped there, and then the WNBA wasn't where it is today.
Yeah, very true.
So she was like, I fell out of love with it. It helped that your husband was in the league.
Yeah, it's just funny because, like, you know, I work at the SEC Network now, where you formerly were at, and they'll always talk about you all the time because how much of an impression you made, and they're like, yep, I mean, they look at me like, man, I just forget how much smaller you are because Marcus was just so big, you know? I'm like, bro. Then they look at my kids, they're like, man, Marcus' kid's just so much bigger. I'm like, bro, he's way bigger. Like, he married bigger. Like,
man.
Everything.
I got to give my wife credit,
Genetics matter.
She saw it in
yes,
college.
They do.
Man. She saw it in college. She's like, if we make it, our kids gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, we good.
And I thank God for it.
Yeah, so I went to UL, the Raging Cajuns. And
I know.
One of the things that I disliked about LSU was, and it wasn't no disrespect toward y'all, but people would wear LSU stuff and they were enrolled. Actual students paid tuition to go to UL. And I used to get so mad, like, why are you here? Why are you even wearing that shirt that say LSU?
Well,
for the love of me,
they probably wouldn't have been there if they could have.
There we go.
Yeah,
and then them kids grow up LSU fans.
Yes, they
don't
do.
Just like you don't dismiss it. Like I can see if it was athletes,
yeah,
playing, but most students, unfortunately, that's going to other colleges in Louisiana are LSU fans.
Now, is there love? This love hate. You know, we got a little Roll Tide here. We got some little Tiger action right here.
We too tired.
Yeah,
I love Rome.
Yeah,
tired,
my
man.
dog. The only real thing I would ask him is did they ever get you, because you from Louisiana though? Did you grow up a Saints fan?
No.
See, that's what I didn't know. But they were so bad back then.
So
though.
many of these people ain't grow up Saints fan. Bro, don't wrong. Y'all brought the Saints back.
Okay, because I was like,
no,
I
tell people all the time, man, I grew up, I was in the streets in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, all over Louisiana.
Yeah.
Man, I saw 12 Saints jerseys my whole childhood, man. Then when I went back when Rome them was balling and Drew and all them boys, everybody was a Saint. My daddy even.
You know what I mean? Like
man,
everybody jumped on who that Saints bandwagon.
Well, they act like they've been there forever. That's what they try and claim, but that's why I wanted to know. Because to me, I'm like, it ain't about the Alabama. Like, first of all, he never probably lost to Alabama, right?
One game.
Yeah.
It was not like it is.
Yeah, now. Nick Saban did all that.
Yeah.
And that's your guy.
Yeah.
And so, I love him too. He's great for me too. But it's just funny because the Saints thing is where I wanted to know, because I know Marcus's mindset on a lot of this stuff already. Yeah, the one thing I did want to know that I didn't know as we looked up this thing was that I didn't know you were the number 1 ranked tight end coming out of high school.
Ooh, boy has
I didn't
some hands.
know you was like on the other side. I only know you as the D-line.
You was an athlete.
It was, so I went to LSU as a tight end.
Yeah.
Right.
Jimbo Fisher recruited me.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator at the time at LSU. And that's who was there every day. I mean, Saban was there, you know how head coaches are, but he wasn't. I'm sure if I would have been coming out as a clear defensive lineman, it would probably been Saban more than I saw Jimbo Fisher. But I was recruited to be a tight end. Played tight end my freshman year at LSU, made all SEC as a freshman tight end. And then he pulled me in the office like game 9 of the season and was like, we want to try you at defensive end. I was like, no, the hell you don't. Like, I'm out here playing and I'm getting some time. And I just didn't see it, man.
Right.
And I've told this story 1,000 times. I told him I was leaving because Miami at the time, Miami was my second choice.
Yeah.
And they had an offense where they threw it. It was Jeremy Shockey. It was Bubba Franks.
Yep.
Like they had tight ends going first round, very much involved in the offense. So I never forget Chazinski was recruited me, Rod Chazinski at Miami. And after Saban told me that, I was leaving. I was like, I'm gonna go, man. Like, and y'all know it ain't like it is now. I could have been a Porter and then Miami by day 3 now, but it just I was catching touchdowns was everything to me. I mean, Jerry Rice was who I watched growing up, him and Reggie White, but Jerry Rice was Jerry Rice, bro.
But I agree.
I wore 84 in high school.
Yep.
I grew out of the wide receiver body, so I was like I could play tight end.
Yeah.
And still do the same things. And, you know, it all worked out. But we were he called me in the office, gave me a day to think about it. I still give Coach credit for that now. Because if If he would have went in on me,
no,
no,
forced it on
hell
you?
no, you doing what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know, I probably would have been like, nah, F you. I'm
Yeah,
about
you
to
the
go.
buck.
But he gave me some time, came back the next day, and brothers, he showed me them numbers that DNs was making in the league versus tight ends at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we could try that defensive line. Let's see what's happening.
Now, you didn't
It worked
switch
out.
numbers, or did you once you?
No,
when
I
you made
stayed
the switch?
84.
Stayed 84.
Stayed
huh?
84 in college. The whole
Why was
time.
that?
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. Oh, okay.
I mean, he was 80, but that was a close number you can get as a tight end.
Sterling Shepard too. I mean Sterling
Sharp.
Sterling Sharp, 84.
Or
sure.
Shepard.
You know what I'm saying?
It's cool.
So when you got drafted to Dallas, you came in under Jerry Jones, Bill Parcells, the big tuna. What was that like? Because I played for Sean,
Okay.
who tries to be.
He was there with us in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so what was it like getting to know Bill Parcells? Because it's like when you have these certain coaches, when you their guy,
Yeah.
you their guy.
Yeah. I hated his guts.
Too old school.
Well, just mind games.
Yeah,
and
that
until
part.
you understand them,
Yes.
it feels like it's personal. And it took me, unfortunately, a little longer. I wanted to put hands on Bill. I mean, me and Bill close now. We cool.
Yeah.
I done heard some stories about
But
that
I
though,
to- but
about
I
people
told
wanting
him-
to put hands on Bill.
I told him, I said, man, if you ever talk to me like that again, I'm gonna put hands on you. And that was Bill's method. When I said it to him, he was like, that's the football player I wanted from LSU.
That's so weird.
What? Like I done dealt with this for 3.5 weeks. I could have just punched you and we would have been straight. But nah, man, I give him credit for my pro career being as long as it was.
Yeah.
He taught me how to be a pro. I came in with some great vets too that were able to kind of get me through that phase of not understanding what Leroy Glover, Greg Ellis, Leonardo Carson. Man, we had some great veterans. Jason Ferguson, so they helped me when I was in that phase. Because when you're young, man, you stop thinking about football and preparation, and you start thinking about how pissed off you are at the coach.
Yeah.
Right, and it takes away from being a pro.
Yeah.
So those guys guided me through that, and then when I realized how Bill was setting me up and getting my mind prepared to be a professional football player, which is after the fact, just like our parents when we kids. Why I can't go outside?
Yeah.
Boy, they shooting out there. Well, let me go. I ain't gonna get shot. No, stay your ass in the house. You know what I'm saying? So he pretty much laid the foundation for me understanding not only the business of football, but also like what it took. You gotta find schemes you fit in. You gotta be in good situations to have success. You gotta know the type of questions to ask coaches in free agency when you're going for a team as opposed to looking at just the dollars. Like,
yeah, it's true.
All of that stuff I learned from Bill. So it was phenomenal, man.
Yeah, one of your former teammates, DeMarcus Ware, inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out to him. Congrats.
Yeah,
that was a huge honor. What did you learn from him when you guys were playing together?
To keep a kid mentality towards the game.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
D. Ware never thought he would be the D. Ware that we know.
Yeah.
Well, he came from Auburn, didn't nobody know him. Then
Came
he
from
went
Auburn,
to Troy.
never recruited, went to Troy,
Yeah.
was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
My man sold concessions at Auburn football games. Like, I tell him all the time, you was headed down a bad trajectory, bro. But nah, man, he when D. Ware got to the NFL, he was still in disbelief that he was in the NFL. And I think it gave him a extra juice that we didn't have coming from big colleges.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird dynamic, bro.
That is weird.
But, at LSU, late into your sophomore year,
if you balling,
if you
gonna
balling
go.
and you don't get hurt, you're going to be in the NFL.
Yes.
Coming from Troy, I don't care what you're doing. You don't know.
Yeah.
Especially at the time with us in the league, right? It was big school everything.
Yes.
Now it's been kind of evened out. But, dude, he came to practice with a type of energy, a type of gratefulness. And when they say your gratitude affect your attitude, bro, D. Ware was always grateful to be a pro football player. And he left no stone unturned. And I worked, right? A lot of other guys worked, but y'all know how it looks. Y'all been around them. Y'all know what a Hall of Famer looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to maybe when you turn the tape on, but he had it in every way. He had it in the weight room. Like some people tell them stories and y'all know they be lying. All these Hall of Famers ain't put in extra hours. Some of them was blessed to be
just
unbelievable.
really good. Yeah.
Right.
It's
D-Ware
true.
did all of those other things though, bro. He really did.
So you were blessed to play 9 amazing years in this league.
Mm-hmm.
You played on 2 teams, the Ravens and the Cowboys.
Yep.
When did you know it was time to hang it up?
I was getting ready. So Ozzie Newsome, who I think is one of the greatest football people in the history of this league.
Yeah.
Former GM for the Ravens.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. He would say that all the time. He never got it out of me. I was retired, bro. After I got released in Dallas, I wasn't going to play anymore. I had degenerative knee. I tore my meniscus my rookie year. So over time, you know.
Just getting worse.
Yeah, just getting worse. And Ozzie called me and was like, look, man, we got this 3-4. We drafted some young guys. Me and Chris Canty came in as the veterans to be a presence, but also play. Like I told Ozzie, man, I got 25 solid ones. And y'all know when you get to that point, 25 plays is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know? So I told him, I was like, I got 25, 30 plays. I ain't the 60 to 70 play. Man, I've been 2-gapping and getting double teamed the last 8 years in this league, bro. I can't give you 60 a rip. But he drafted some young guys. We came in and mentored, and they released me like week 7 or 8. And it didn't bother me at all.
Were you like relieved?
Bro, I was in Dallas so fast, bro. And that's when I realized, you know how they say you've been stealing?
Yeah.
I was like, I was going to steal for the last 8-9 weeks of this season. And I had no desire. Like it didn't bother me. And I'm uber competitive. We all are, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't kid yourself. If you make it to the NFL, you are uber competitor.
No
you
doubt.
just are. But I had no desire. I wasn't disappointed.
Yeah.
Now my body was breaking down. My knee was degenerative, swelling after every practice. That get old and monotonous. So it was time. But to Ozzie's credit, man, like when I told him, I was like, man, I don't know if this gonna last the entire season. And they made the moves, and they, you know, young players turned into good players.
Yeah. And
I felt good about, you know, being a veteran to help them dudes understand the pro life. Because somebody did it for me.
Yeah. But that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to get passed down.
Yeah.
And so, and continue on that same vein, what you're doing now on TV, bro. Like, first of all, you cleared the way. Like,
it, man.
like all the shows that you started out doing, I'm being able to do all that stuff now.
Man, that's
you know what I'm saying? Like from SEC Nation.
Yeah.
Like you having the great, I mean, like you still got the most viewed clip when y'all made fun of Paul
my God,
getting that
bro.
damn haircut.
That was really Tebow. That was really Tebow.
It was still great.
You was
Yeah,
like
it was
laughing, crying, sweating.
The laugh is
sweat.
what did everybody,
Yeah,
bro. But
oh
it was,
my
bro,
God.
I promise, it was not supposed to be that funny. I couldn't help it. I could not help it.
I don't think anyone could.
So from that show to all the other things you've been doing, man, like what do you think are the things that you've improved in?
Right.
Did you ever see yourself growing and doing what you're doing now?
Man, I never thought about it. First of all, Ron, when I started at SEC Network, I didn't know you could make money in TV.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea. I didn't know anything about the business of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot of that by the elevation of like being on these big shows and understanding how that works.
Yeah.
Dude, like I was saying about D-Ware, it's a kid. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Man. Like man, listen, y'all see I got sweat. If I could wear this on every show on TV and kick it, that's what I would do. I have a healthy respect for the people that aren't in front of the camera.
Yes.
And I think that
agree
keeps
with you.
me humble, bro. Because you realize, one, how good they are at what they do, but you also realize they are in a position to screw you or help promote you.
Yeah.
Showing you in good light, letting you be like producers when you have those production calls.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, you know, producers know. They send me a question. If I don't answer it, it's like, oh, he got something on this. And if I answer it, I give a one-word answer because I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And you got to build a relationship where they know Mark is fine. He gonna bring it. You got to build trust in knowing that you gonna have the information. And then when they turn the camera on, bro, I'm just me. I've been being this guy since I was 5.
But I think people appreciate that though. Like the sweat, like I don't know, you be the fish fries and the way you talk and just like your persona, like who you are. Like I think that's dope. We had Nate on the pod maybe a year ago, and he talked about when he finally made that jump to CBS. He was trying to be something that he wasn't, and it kind of took him a little bit to get his footing, and then finally he found his swag and put on one of his suits and just was, you know, he found his footing and his, I guess you could say, his confidence. And then
man, to your point, Peter, I just want to be where I am, bro. Like, I'm not in competition. I did that for 9 years in the NFL, 4 years in college. You know, I've competed my whole life. I didn't come in TV compete. I came in TV to see y'all ascend. And do a great job. Like, and have fun. I mean, I dug fence post holes with my grandfather growing up. And these people pay me to sit on TV for an hour and a half and talk about something I know front to back. Dude, so I've seen, like, over time how, I guess the most disappointing thing for me being in the media as I sit today, I see how so many grown men, like, fight to be in the middle of it all. And they fighting with each other. And it's like, bro, you kidding me? Like, what are we doing? First of all, it's enough space out here for everybody. I just kind of keep that mentality, bro. Like, if y'all came on NFL Live, I'm going to be the same guy, but we're going to have a great time. I'm not going on TV to prove to people that I'm the smartest. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is that when you sit down and you watch, if I'm on any show, is that you feel like you hanging out. Like, I've always kept that. I said that my first interview coming in the SEC network. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. Didn't know I was going to be on Nation, nothing. And I'll never forget a reporter asked me when we were doing the media days, because that was the inception of the network. They was like, what do you want to get out of this? I want people to feel like they in my living room chilling. And that's how I like to do TV. And when producers and stuff try to overproduce, and I don't do well with that. And I think I've been honest about it. And to ESPN credit, and I hate saying anything good because people think you're a company guy, to their credit, they've adjusted to a different wave. And, man, I get asked to go be myself.
I will.
It shows.
I will give you a hats off to that, man, because I think of people like you that are kind of like paved that way.
Appreciate it, bro.
For people like me that come in, they have not told me not one time what to do, what to say. They like, hey, man, like, they trust me now. And they just like, bro, just.
And you do a phenomenal
and you
job
do
too,
like, just go do you, man. I appreciate that, dog. But it's just real funny because it's because of the other things. And that's the other thing that I want to ask you. And I know how this came about, but for the viewers and the people that do not, the name Big Swagu. All right. Shout out to my man Joe Test.
Yes, sir.
All right, who brought that up. Now I don't know exactly how. I just know he gave you that name. Shout out to the Test Effect.
We were actually in Tuscaloosa. We were sitting in Tuscaloosa getting ready for a show. And the one thing I've always said, Rome and Peanut, big men don't look good on TV with how we dress. Because when we buy stuff, bro, if you can't afford custom, it drapes you.
No doubt.
It just drapes you. It just falls on your body and it drapes you. Chuck is my mentor. And Barkley. And I've told Chuck 100 times, man, let me get you a custom suit. All right. Chuck has custom suits, don't get me wrong. But his tailor won't cut it. All right? They just won't cut it for the big man to really be. But I have always believed, bro, like, my mom raised me, I'm from Louisiana, in church. You get dressed for church.
No doubt.
Like, my mama still be sick now when people show up with jeans.
When they say come as you are?
Yeah, I'm like, mine
she do not mean that.
No. Get your ass dressed.
That's
for
old
church.
school.
All right, I had $5 to buy this whole suit. You gonna wear it this Sunday. But nah, man, I just wanted to always present myself in a good way. And that came from my mom and my grandmother. And then when I got on TV, Joe Test just said one day, he said, man, you just drip Swagu. And he was like, I'm going to call you Swagu. And I nickname everybody. Literally, because I don't remember names well. But I remember a nickname I gave somebody. And he started calling me that, bro. And I never thought 2 cents about it until you in public. And then Swagu. Bro, Goodell yesterday came up on set. Swagu, what's up, man? And I was like, damn, if Roger calling you Swagu, bro, it's pretty much over.
This is it.
Yeah, man. But it's a term of endearment. It gives people a sense of closeness to you. And that's just what I'm with it. I think it's dope.
It is dope.
So I'm a freshly retired NFL player,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get into the media space. What advice would you give me?
Okay, so I get this question a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know how it go. I went and interned at the Dallas Morning News, bro, for $2.75 an hour. Like, I wanted to be in media, didn't know in what capacity, but I wanted to be in media because I played in Dallas. I played at LSU, consistently around media, and trying to understand the game.
Yeah.
So for me, y'all know this conversation used to always happen. There'll be a write-up after a game, a reporter will write something, and they are absolutely wrong about the coverage, who fault it was, or whatever.
Dead wrong.
So, dog, I'm trying to give myself like a proper tag that's important. So I was like, I'm gonna be a consultant to the media in journalism, right?
Yeah.
And the Dallas Morning News, print journalism, a lot of credit to all of those people that gave, was like, hey, Marcus, anytime. And I was thinking about starting a digital show with a writer to explain why that wasn't the cornerback's fault.
Yeah.
Right? So they wouldn't be in a position where when they show up in the locker room, Peanut want to kill them because it was Roman's fault.
No doubt.
And vice versa, right? So that was my first initial reason for like getting into it, and that's what I wanted to create. Man, I realized it ain't no way in hell I'm sitting behind a desk. Dog, I was dying. I mean, I'm sitting in there, bro. It's hours. It's so quiet. People coming in and coming out. They bringing their bag lunches. Writers coming in and they writing. We having editing meetings, and ain't nothing exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no. Just say, I'm going to just go sit on this NFL money and relax. And funny enough, man, my sister hit me up, and she was like, you heard about the SEC network that's starting. And my wife as well. They was like, you need to be in TV. You don't need to be in no damn newspaper anyway. Man, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I wasn't writing nothing, okay? But they hit me about it. My wife kind of pushed me away from radio. I was going to do radio in Dallas. Already had a job, already had an offer, everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go try this SEC network. I tweeted, sent a direct message to the executive, Stephanie Drewler at the time.
Yeah, I know Drewler.
And I was like, I want to try out. That's how naive. I want to try out for the job. She was like, try out for what? She was like, you want to audition? I was like, yeah, I want to audition. She said, send me some reels. I hunt fish. This how naive. I was like, I have reels, but I can't send them to you. She was like, send me clips of what you've done on TV. And I sent her some stuff that I had done locally and was like, man, I got a call to come interview in Bristol.
Yeah.
I went up to Bristol, it was 6 degrees.
Terrible.
I said, there's no way in hell I'm working up here. And I didn't understand you could do remote, you could fly in, fly. I didn't understand it. I thought you had to move there.
No doubt.
I was like, nah, I'm good on the job. So did the interview though, it was cool. Called me back for a second one in Austin at University of Texas at Longhorn Network at the time. Me and Booger interviewed together. And I felt good about it. I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. Didn't hear anything for like 2.5, 3 weeks. Stephanie called me and was like, we're going to put you on SEC Nation. I was like, cool. I'm thinking studio. Boom. She's like, this is a live show, live audience.
We out.
I was like, what you talking about? She helped me tremendously with one statement. She said, you don't know anything about TV. You've mastered being Marcus. Just do that. We'll take care of everything else. And over time, I've been learning, but I came into this business with that stamp of like, go be you.
Yeah.
And everything else will fall into place. And that's how I started with a DM. That's how them boys getting them ladies now.
Yeah,
DMing them.
Hey, shout out to Baron Miller because he uses that same thing to me all the time, and he was your guy too.
Yeah,
y'all played all the time. Yeah, that's what he says all the time. So that's what he always reminds. Hey, Rome, just go be you, dog.
That's it, dude.
That's it.
That's it, man.
He said that's all we need.
And it take some producers to realize, like, trust you, and you know, because they got a job to do.
No doubt. And so I want to get you out of here on this one, man. And And after this is up, I want to know what else you got on your mind, on your plate with the media stuff going, what's going to be the future for you. But I want to know, who is on your Mount Rushmore of influence? We always trying to ask guys who's been the biggest impactful, most impactful in their lives, family, coaches, whatever, not just athletics, but just in life, to help you be Swagu.
Mom, dad, sister, grandmother.
That's simple.
Famous people wasn't in my household. They didn't. Those four motivated me. My mom motivated me by wanting to give her a better life. Not seeing her struggle. I told y'all my sister was my hero. I followed her around.
How tall is your sister?
She only 5'9".
Oh, but I mean, you say only, but that's a tall woman.
Yeah, that's tall for a woman. I was in the room trying to follow her around, trying to be everything she was, bro. My dad pushed me to be a high-level athlete and pushed me to be a man. Like, y'all know how some dads in that generation, hey, man, ain't no excuses. Took me out. I'll never forget, first time I got introduced to football was my dad took me in an open field in Scotlandville, Louisiana, right by Southern University campus, and took a Nerf ball and threw it to me as hard as he could. I cried, and I was going to leave. He said, if you go upstairs, you ain't coming back outside. And I was like, I guess I ain't going upstairs because I couldn't stand to be inside. Y'all know how we was when we was young. And he would fire that Nerf ball. I turned into the #1 tight end in the country because I could catch as well as everybody. And then my grandmother nurtured me, took care of me. She was my defense against everybody else. She was my peace of mind. Christine Spears, she was there to be like, he's still a baby. While everybody else was like, you gonna get your big ass right. You know what I'm saying? And my mama was super nurturing. But my mom worked tirelessly. And had to make sure, I had what I needed. I moved. My mom and dad separated when I was 8. I moved with my dad in high school, and it was the perfect call. And they were always on the same page about me and my sister. So those are the 4 people. It wasn't like Martin Luther King or Jordan or Reggie White. I looked at those guys, loved what they did, but the people in my community reason I am who I am.
That's awesome.
Those were my influences.
I knew that though, because I know you.
Yeah, man.
That you ain't changed a lick.
It don't mean I don't love them famous people.
No, we good.
But I was in the trenches with them folks.
Yeah. I like that though, man. Hey, thanks for coming on the pod, man.
I appreciate it, brothers.
The spirit, your energy, and your stories. Yeah.
I gotta get my son down here, man. He gotta meet you, dog.
Man, I'm wide open. Dog.
I know, dog. I know, man.
I'm wide open.
All right, man. Well, let's get him up out of here, man. And also, shout out to DeMarcus Spears, who's the only person I know that says "damn" more than anybody on TV.
It's my favorite word.
It is his favorite word. So, man. Anyway, wherever you pick up your podcast, man. Thanks for always tuning in. Give us that 5-star rating. Leave a review, couple comments. Tell us what we're doing. Ask these guys some questions too, man. We're filling the blank for y'all. And make sure you hit that follow button or subscribe wherever you pick up your podcast, was the iHeartRadio app or the Apple Podcast, man. We out of here, man. Peanut, man. Get us up out, bro.
Hey, I'm Peanut. That's Swagu. It's Mr. Rogers. Hey, that's the NFL Player Second Acts podcast. We out.
Peace.